Okay, so this is going to be the next set of ZBLL, and it's basically where we're going to have, for the C case, where we have these two stickers being the same and these two stickers being opposite for the CP. So just jumping right in for this first case, basically you're gonna want to recognize by like the groups of three pieces on the side, like here and here. So you can basically just use either one of them. It doesn't really matter. You just need to use one of them for the recognition. So anyways, how it works is like there's gonna be two stickers like right here, either right here or right here, and it's gonna be opposite to one of these. So for this side, it's these two stickers, which are gonna be the same and are both opposite to this one. So basically, you just have to recognize that there is one of those. So yeah, and the AUF sticker is right here, because this is the angle that you're going to do the alg from, and so it's just easiest to see this one. Even though technically you can use this back one, it's not very useful when you just have this really easy one in the front. So anyways, here is the alg. So you do an F move. You basically just a second move. You just do R prime, U prime, and then from here you start to see like all the blocks. And all you have to do from here is put this pair into like this slot, like this, as if it were an F2L slot, and then do a U prime, and then insert it back into the actual slot like this. Do an F prime. So for this next case, it's just gonna be where we have like a very continuous Z-perm block along the solid block of the cube. So like you can see there's a bunch of edge blocks, but they basically like they roll into each other in a way. So like blue, so this is like blue, orange, blue, and then this is orange, but then this is also green and orange. That's basically what I mean by that. And so the AUF sticker, you're going to hold it from this angle, and the AUF sticker is right here in the front, which is quite convenient again. And what you just do is you take out the front pair, do a U2, split it up like this, do another U2, and then insert this corner, and then you and then you cancel into this thing like that. So again, you just take the pair out, do a U2 and split it up like this, do another U2, insert this corner, and then insert this edge like this, or cancel into inserting it like that. Okay, so for these next two cases, it's basically going to be where we have a very big block, and there's going to be like, basically what's going on here is there's a 3 cycle that's happening between this corner, and this corner, and you recognize based on the block plus CP. So first of all, for AUF stickers, it's because it's a 3 cycle, you can just use any of the other pieces that aren't being cycled. So that would work for this block, this edge, literally whatever. Even technically this corner if you wanted to, although I wouldn't recommend that because it's so easy. Anyways, how it goes is you're either gonna do like a commutator from the front of the cube more of, and like the back of the cube more of. So when the block is in the front, you do the alg from the back, and then when the block is in the back, like this, you do the alg more in the front. So for when you do the alg more like in the back, it goes like this. So you kind of do, I would think of it as like, personally I like to think of it as like R, B2, and then like a wide L kind of, because you're like going up but then rolling it kind of like that. So technically you're doing R, B2, R if you were just thinking of it like this. but I like to think of it like that. And you do a D2 interchange, and then put these pieces like back in here with R prime EQR, and then you just finish off the rest of this with D2 R2, like that. And you want to do like this or like this so that you're ready to do AUF, because like if you just do like this or something like that, I guess you would be pretty set up pretty well, but like you just want to make sure your fingers, if there is an AUF, you want to make sure your fingers are like in a position that they can do that. So again, for this case where we have the block in the back, we're going to do that same kind of thing, but more from the front in a way. So it just goes like this. So you do R prime, instead of like RB2R, you do like technically R prime F2 R prime. But I like the other case, I like to think of this a little differently. So instead of saying R prime F2 R prime, I like to think of it as like R prime F2 and then R2 or R prime F2 and then like wide L prime, and then do a D2 interchange, do RE2 R prime, and then just finish this off with a D2 and an R2. And again, you just want to make sure your fingers are in the right position. It's pretty easy, at least for me. My fingers just generally like will be set up right here, whether I do a wide L2 or like an R2. I guess they're basically the same thing, so it would make sense that they end up in the same place. But just if there is one that tends to be better for you to for where your fingers end up afterwards, definitely use that one, because it's just a useful thing to think about. Okay, so for both of these next two cases, we're just going to have one bar on either, like, it's going to be, we hold the case from this angle if there is one bar, and then you recognize whether it's like this or like this. So yeah, if the bar is like this, you do this alg, and so that the AUF sticker is this front corner right here. So basically you do R prime, U prime, and then do a comm between these three corners like this. And then from here, if you were to do an R2, it would just be a soon, or a back soon, I guess. But instead of just doing that, you can cancel into it by putting a U prime in the middle of the R2, and then you just have this R2 insert into the back. So it's a bit similar for this case. The AUF sticker is different though. Instead of being like a corner over here, which technically would be over here if you were to use that, but I think the edge sticker is much better for this case because it's definitely way more in the front, way more visible. So basically what you do, you do RU this time and then do a comm between these three corners like this. And then similarly to the other one, if you were just to do an R2 prime, it would just give you a soon, but you can just do a U move in the middle and then just have this U2 insert instead. Okay, so for these next two cases, it's going to be similar recognition to the last two cases, but basically it's going to be where you have, instead of having a bar on like this part of the cube, you're going to either have a block on this side of the cube, on like technically on this side of the cube, or on this side of the cube. But how you will always hold it so that the bar is going to be on the right. So what that means is like, it's not like this, but like it's like in like this kind of in like a horizontal or a vertical way instead of a horizontal way, plus it being on the left side of the cube no matter what, or the right side of the cube, my bad. So how it goes is basically for this case, you take out this pair, and then you cancel into a comm between this corner of the pair and then these three corners, and it goes like that. And then you finish this case off by solving the pair like this. So instead of doing like that, you have to do it like this, if you were to think about it like that. So yeah, the AOF sticker for both this case and the case of its mirror is just the block that you actually just look at for recognition. So it's really useful, and you can just use that for the recognition. Yeah. So, like I said, this case is now just where the block is technically, like, it would normally be on the right, and then you just keep it here because it's on the right, and you needed to be on the right for the case recognition. But anyways, again, the AOF stickers are just the block, just like the last case, and it's literally just the same case, but from the back. So how that looks is like this. So you take the pair out, down, and then you cancel into a comm between these three or this corner, and this corner. So that looks like this, like that. And then what you do is you make it a free pair like this, and not like this. Make sure you're doing this, and then just insert in the back. So now again, we have two cases that are quite similar, and they are mirrors of each other. So for this case, we actually have two blocks now, and there's only really going to be two cases with two blocks. So it's just this case and the mirror of this case. So this one looks like this. If you hold them from this angle, it looks like this. From this angle, which is the angle that you do the alg from, it's like this, as opposed to the other case, which looks like this, and where you would actually hold it from this angle, where you can't really see many of the blocks because they're like in the back. But yeah, it's just how you hold it. So for this case, basically what you do is you take this pair out, and then you do a comm between this corner, and this corner, I believe. So basically you do this, take out the pair, and then you do like that. So again, take out the pair and then comm like this. Then you do a U2, and basically you just solve this winter variation. If you don't know it, it's if you don't know the case, basically like these two headlights are facing this way, and we have this weird shape. Basically what you do is you do sexy move here, and then you just insert the pair like that. Okay, so for the case that is like the mirror of that case that I just showed, basically what you want to do is you hold it from this angle, and unlike the last case, which AUF stickers were this block, for this case, it's just going to be this corner in the front, and the reason for that is, like, technically you could use this block over here, but it's quite in the back, and you know, this is just like in the front, right? It's really easy to see, and yeah, it's just a nice sticker to look at, even though it isn't an edge sticker. It's kind of the best you have from this angle, which is what you're going to do the alg from. So how you do it is you like do R, U2, R, and then you do a D move, and then put this like pair back into like its slot, kind of. So what you do is R prime U2 R, so it kind of puts it back in its slot. And then from here, what you can do is, instead of doing an R2, you can do R prime, you can do an R prime and then a U prime in the middle to cancel into this back suit. And then you just finish it off. Okay, so for these last two cases, it's basically just, well, you have to recognize that there is nothing to recognize. It's one of those cases where there's not very much. The only thing for this case is that there is an opposite block on one side of this block. So for this one, it's on this side, and for this other one, it's on this side, technically. So for this one, you actually do hold it from this angle. But for this one, it's like just technically, if you were to hold it from this angle, it would be right here, but you actually have to do the alg from right here instead. So for this case, the AUF sticker is just going to be this corner. It can be either the two stickers, it doesn't really matter. Or it can be this side stickers over here. Just depends which one you're more comfortable with. It's really like, it's really like a slight eye movement thing. One might be like slightly faster, it just like depends. So what you do, basically, you take out the pair, do U2, and then you do this like, the only way I can describe it is like an inverse of a weird like of a part of a J-perm. So this is how it goes. It goes like that. So yeah, that's like the only way I can describe it. It's just like that. Then you do a U2 insert the pair in the back. So yeah, there's not really much I can say about that. It's just kind of out and how it works. So for this case, unfortunately, there's really no way to predict AUF on this case. Like you can make a really far stretch and like make it so that you recognize a certain sticker goes a certain direction or whatever you want to do for that, or like this is opposite or whatever you want to do. But like really, I don't like know what I would do for this case, except for if you want to use a different alg, which of course would give you a different AUF sticker, and from there it's not too hard to figure out. For this case, there's literally absolutely nothing, and even if you do the thing from here, like this is opposite or whatever, or like these three edges are all opposite, so like that's like the only point in which anything is really like kind of, you know. So I wish I could say there was something that you could use for this case, but there like really isn't. So yeah, that kind of sucks. But anyways, how the alg goes is you take this corner out into this place like this, using a comm. So you just do R prime D prime and then take it out and then undo those first moves, and then you cancel, because you're already here, you can cancel into doing this, and then U2, and then instead of just inserting this pair right away, you make it a joined pair, and then a U prime, and then insert instead. So, like I said, there's not really a good way to recognize AUF for this. It is really just like, you kind of just have to wing it. I really wish I knew a better way to do this, but like I said, there's like really nothing. Anyways, though, that was this case, But anyways, that was this COLL subset of ZBLL. I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.